Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Nikki A, and this is another Nikki Talks. I wanted to come in here and talk about Fenty hair versus Cécred by Beyonce. Beyonce's hairline. There's a great debate happening online versus about Rihanna support versus Beyonce support, and how the treatment that Beyonce got when she launched her hairline versus the treatment that Rihanna is getting her with the news of her launching her line. And I just wanted to come in and put my 2 cents on it, like I have done with everything else. And I really wanted to just compare the two, because there is a difference, and there's a reason why Beyonce was received the way in which she was received, and is still being received the way in which she's being received, versus the way Rihanna is being received. The thing that we have to realize when it comes to Beyonce and when it comes to Cécred hair, first of all, to me, the launching of itself felt rushed to me. It felt like they had to hurry up and get it out. And I'm not saying that they were racing to get their launch out before Fenty hair, but it would make sense, because we know what happens when Rihanna launches her things. The only thing that has not actually done well when it launched as under the house of Fenty is the fashions. Anytime she collaborates fashion wise, though, Robin does her thing. If y'all don't know, Robin is Rihanna's first name, so I will be using those names interchangeably.
Okay.
I like calling her Robin, so a Robin may slip out here or there. But anywho, it's the only thing that has not done well under the house of Fenty has been the fashions. Everything else she has done well. Her launches are always amazing. And it is because people really rock with Rihanna on a personal level, or on as much as a personal level that one could have with someone of Rihanna's stature. But she makes an avenue for you to be able to connect with her. She's personable. You can see yourself as her, even though she's a billionaire. She feels very relatable, even though she's a billionaire. And I think part of it also too has to do with her coming from, humble beginnings and things of that nature, and watching her make it. She just feels familiar. And when it comes to Beyonce has always kept herself out of touch, out of reach. She knows that she's not relatable. She's not relatable at all. She doesn't try to be relatable. She's not personable. She doesn't make connections with her audience unless it's music.
I said what I said.
And I think the difference between the two is Rihanna has taken the time to build a connection with her audience and her fans outside of music. So Rihanna can do music if she wants to. I don't think it's happening. Y'all can quit asking for that album, by the way.
The truth.
Cause it's not happening. Rihanna is not interested in doing music right now. Okay, it's just not happening. But if she wanted to, Rihanna could go out here, release an album. It's going to do well. She can go out here and go on a tour. She's going to sell out. The Navy is going to show up and show out. But she can also, on the flip side, release a lipstick, okay, release an eyeshadow palette, okay, release a sneaker with Puma, okay. She can release a hairline and it's going to be received well, because she was able to step away from music and establish her presence and her personality in a different form of consumerism. And we were able to connect with her through that on a different level from music. Beyonce, on the other hand, typically will just try to ride the coattail of her musical influence and curtail off of that and come on the back end and try to sell something. And those are two different approaches. Because Beyonce is not going to ever leave music, because that's her money maker. She's not going to ever leave music.
No.
Rihanna can take it or leave it. The problem with that on Beyonce's side is consumers are not stupid. And like I said before, Beyonce is very out of reach. Beyonce is very out of touch, unattainable. And she's not relatable. So when you keep yourself far off and aloof, but then you want somebody to buy something from you, it doesn't relate. It doesn't translate. And people feel uncomfortable. The other thing that I'm seeing as well is people wanting to see, the real hair and not just wigs and weaves and extensions. And I understand that from a consumer standpoint. I do understand that. I think that is the reason why we gravitated towards pattern beauty, because we saw Tracee Ellis Ross's hair, not only, just on different social media platforms, but also when she played Joan, even though she did wear some added hair here and there, but when she played Joan on Girlfriends, like we've seen her hair. We know what her hair looks like. But also on her social media platforms, we see her using the products, her deep conditioners, her gels, her leave-ins, her shampoos, her conditioners. We see her using her hair tools. Like, we see her being involved with her brand and not just selling it. And I think that's why Pattern does well. And I think other brands that do that as well, like Mielle Organics, we see her involved in her brand. We see her using her products, or her products being used on her. And I do think that that's important. And I think Beyonce I honestly feel like that was an afterthought. I don't think Beyonce had any intent on coming on social media and showing a lick of her hair, not really trying to show us her using it or using it on her children, and really showing us her being involved with the line. I don't think she really had that intent, but because she got a lot of backlash, she had to go ahead and throw that in there. And then people weren't happy with that either. And I think the reason why people weren't happy with that is because it came off very curated. It didn't come off as a candid moment. Like, let me show y'all, which I get. She's Beyonce. She's just not some run-of-the-mill influencer on YouTube. No shade. Okay? I get that. But at the same time, if I'm buying from you, people want to be able to break through all of that and just get the meat of who you are and just kick it with you and watch you do your hair. If we look at when Cardi B came to social media and showed us her hair mask and how she blended it up and how she put it in her hair, and it was still curated in a sense, but it felt more authentic. It was in her home. She didn't have a stylist with her. You saw the kids running around. Like, it was like a moment in the day of her life of her doing something for herself. And don't get me wrong, I understand that there is a realistic aspect to Beyonce having people do things for her because she is a celebrity of that stature. She does have teams. But I think also the people with whom she's selling to don't have that.
You take that elsewhere. Don't bring that here.
The people who she wants to buy from her don't have teams. They are parents, whether they're single moms or they are a 2-parent household where they are trying to hold down their household on their own. They're doing their own hair. They're doing their kids' hair. And I think when we, especially as women, especially as Black women, when we see other women being able to do astronomical things, but also still having to take care of their families at the same time, it makes it feel more real. It makes it feel more relatable. It translates better that way. Beyonce is never ever going to give that. And that's why when it comes to this franchise of consumerism, she's just never going to do well. Rihanna on the flip side. Now, first, I don't necessarily think that it's imperative for me personally to see her hair to validate the launch of this hairline.
I had a reason. I had a reason.
What was the reason?
I had a reason.
What was the
I had a
reason?
reason.
What was the reason?
Because the feel that I got from the advertisement that she posted on social media is that this is supposed to be a restorative line, but also a line to assist with styling and people who like to switch up their styles. And we know Rihanna to be style queen, and we know from Rihanna's history with hair, she switch up her style like every 2 days. Okay, she never has the same hairstyle. It's either braided, it's locked up, it's wig, it's quick weave. It's we know Rihanna switches it up. So in that sense, for me, I don't think it's necessary to see just her real hair out, but I do feel like stay tuned, because I feel like that's coming. I think she introduced the line, and then I do think that in the future, near future, we're going to see her live with her line and interact with her brand and see that, because she does that with everything. She did it with the clothing. She did it with, and she even does it with her collaborations. She's done it with every lip gloss, every mascara, every eyeliner, every palette, every blush, every bronzer. We see her interact with the brand on a personal level. So I don't see why she wouldn't do this with the hair care as well. Also, it makes more sense for Rihanna to be releasing a hair care line more so than it does for Beyonce, because Rihanna has already had an existing successful beauty line. She's already done makeup. She's already done skincare. It makes sense that she would have hair care. And I know a lot of y'all feel that Beyonce's mom owning a salon and Beyonce growing up in the salon qualifies her to come out with a hair care line and be an expert on these things, but it doesn't.
So there.
Okay, it would make sense if it was all Tina, and Tina was the face of everything, and Beyonce was just over here in the cut chilling with Blue and Rumi. That's not what's happening. Beyonce is the face of it. Beyonce does not have a background in hair care. She also does not have a background in having a beauty-based brand. The only thing that she has done beauty-wise has been perfume. Rihanna has done it all beauty except for hair care. So it makes sense for her to kind of bring her line to completion with, or her brand to completion with, hair care. Rihanna is just as much of a billionaire as Beyonce is. She has just as many teams, just as much money, just as much going on, just as much success as Beyonce does. She also has 2 children. Beyonce has, more than one child as well. But there's an aspect of realness that you get from Rihanna that you just don't get from Beyonce. Rihanna just feels less plastic, less, when you go into someone's house and they have the plastic on the sofa and you just feel uncomfortable because you're like,
What is this, honey?
you really don't want me touching your stuff. I don't want to sit on it. I don't want to make it squeak. Versus when you walk into somebody's house and it's just inviting and warm, and you're just like, I just want to jump on the couch and I want to chill. I know you're gonna give me a blanket and bring me some hot chocolate. It's that. It's you with Rihanna. She's inviting. You feel like you can let your hair down with her. With Beyonce, you got to be on your P's and Q's. And she's curated her. Beyonce has curated herself to be in that way. So I don't feel sorry for her about that. That's if you look at her interviews, she has always said, I reserve a lot of myself for my close family, for my close friends and my family. So and that's fine. That's her prerogative to want to do that. But it does backfire when you want to be so close knit and you want to reserve a good portion of yourself only for certain people in certain environments, that when you want who you are and your personality to translate, it comes off as fake because you you weren't doing this all along, but now you want to sell this product, and now you want to give. Rihanna has given personality, whether she's cursing somebody out or, whether she's just being snippy, or whether she's happy, or whether she's joking, whether she's at a fashion show, whether she's at one of her own pop-up situations with Fenty and Sephora. Like, no matter where she is, you get the essence of who Rihanna is. When Beyonce shows up to an event, it's just Beyonce has showed up to an event. The upper echelon has walked in. But when Rihanna shows up, it's a different feeling. And those feelings, those vibes translate into the consumerism and them trying to sell to us. And the thing with Beyonce is trying to do all of this now, it just doesn't come off as genuine. It just doesn't come off as authentic. It comes off as you, or as her, trying to play into people's face because you want to sell a product and you want to capitalize and you want to make all of this money. And I'm not saying that Rihanna isn't trying to do these things as well, but at least the way in which she does it, it makes you feel like, yeah, she's trying to capitalize, but also it's also coming from a real place. Like, and Beyonce doesn't have that balance. Beyonce hasn't found that medium. And that is the reason why people receive her the way in which she does. I have no doubt that Cécred is, a decent line. I haven't tried anything yet. There's a couple of things that I would like to try, but I'm definitely, as a consumer, I'm definitely more interested in trying Fenty than I am with Beyonce. Now, granted, I'm not the biggest Beyonce fan. I'm not a Beehive member. I do like a few songs of Beyonce, but I'm not a diehard, Beehive member like that. I can really take Beyonce or leave her. Rihanna, I love me some Robin. Number one, I'm half Caribbean on my daddy side, so I relate to her in that way, being an island girl. I love her music. I love her attitude. I love how she just checks people on the spot. Like, I love that about Robin. You don't have to wait for a record for her to check you. She's gonna check you right there. It's just to me, Robin just doesn't give that I have to keep up appearances. I'm going to do me, period. I don't care what it looks like. But Beyonce, oh, no. That image, baby, that image is everything. And we know Robin don't care about an image, because when Good Girl Gone Bad came out, she switched it up. They wanted her to look a certain way, and she was like, "No, I'm not doing that. I want to be true to who I am, and this isn't me." So Rihanna has been giving her since she has been giving her. Beyonce, not so much.
Who gonna check me, boo?
And that's a whole nother video if we want to get into that. But I'm just gonna leave it at Beyonce, not so much. So, I definitely hope both of the ladies do well with their launches, but I definitely understand why some people would be more cautious when it comes to purchasing from Beyonce, but be a little bit more comfortable with purchasing from Rihanna. And it's just how they vibe with the people. If you look at the Cécred launches and the pop-ups and with the influencers and all of that, to me, because I watched a few influencers go to these events, and it just didn't feel like a vibe. Like, everybody was excited because they got to meet Beyonce, and everybody was vibing with each other, but nobody was really like vibing with her. And I get that she's an introvert and she can be shy and all of that, but you want people to buy a product. And part of being able to advertise, you can ask any YouTuber, any influencer on any social media platform, you have to have the personality to go with it for people to connect with you. Beyonce does not. The only time you get personality from Beyonce is in the studio and on stage. Outside of that, she doesn't have it. And it translates into the products. It translates into that. Whereas with Robin, if you look at her events, Robin is a whole she over here with the DJ. She's talking to the people, baby. She's pouring drinks. Yeah, the Sephora events. She's buying things for people. Like, she's in there mingling. She was doing that ish pregnant.
I mean,
Belly full. Mama's was in there doing. You think? No. Both her and Blue, no shade, at the Cécred event up there, shy, not really wanting to be talkative. And again, I get it, but at the same time, you're trying to sell a product. So if you can be on stage and you can be on and you can be bopping around, you need to learn how to do that at these events. You can't be Miss Outgoing on stage and then be at these events and want to be a wallflower and be all uncomfortable. You can't do that. And then also not really have a social media presence until it's time to promote an album or promote a tour. Rihanna is on her social media all the time, pregnant, okay, whatever the situation may be. You're going to see Robin. She's active. She's active with her people. So yeah, if she launches a product, yeah, they're going to be on it. Beyonce is not active. The only thing she's active with is her music. So her music fans are going to be on it because she's consistent with that. Everything else, she's not. So that's really all I had to say. I don't want to keep rambling, but y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. You know, who are you more comfortable purchasing from, Rihanna or Beyonce? Have you tried the Cécred line? What did you think? Will you be trying Fenty hair? You know, are you excited for it? Are you just like, it is what it is? Y'all let me know down in the comments. As always, if you did not hit the like button on your way in, do not forget to hit it on your way out. Don't forget to share the video and subscribe. And I will see y'all in the next one. Bye, y'all.